everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.
You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone. This is Kim Jacobs from The Kim Jacobs Show. And guess who we have with us today here on The Kim Jacobs Show? She's normally backstage working The Kim Jacobs Show, and she has been with us for about 2 years. Mackenzie Rhodes. How are you, Mackenzie?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. And listen, I cannot believe that you've come from backstage and you are here to share your story today.
I know you finally let me up in the front for once.
Oh, get out of here. Now, Mackenzie, you know goodness well, you're a whole TikTok sensation, viral girl over there. So let's be very clear. Mackenzie is not backstage like talking about it. It's by choice, everybody, okay? It's totally by choice. But I'm so glad to have you on today.
I'm glad to be here.
So you guys, you know, when you're hearing me say Mackenzie, go to McCurshel. You got me stumbling over my words, Mackenzie, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, when I say go to commercial Mackenzie, this is who I'm actually talking to, is Mackenzie backstage. Or I'll tell her to pop up some of the comments. And I think it's always great. I encourage everybody on the Kim Jacobs Show team, they know this already, to come and be a guest on the show. Tell their individual stories too, because all of them have such tremendous, very different, unique kind of stories to share as well that make them who they are today. So listen, grab your virtual seats. I see you all coming in the studio audience. As you know, I'll be working the buttons today because she is sitting right there. Okay. All right. So I see you, Rita Max. You say hello. Yes. Guillan Barre is a common side effect of shots. And we're going to talk about that, Amy, because I know I had never even heard of it until Mackenzie experienced it. So
I posted it in a group that I'm in with like 4,000 people that have all had Guillain-Barré on Facebook. So some of them might be from there.
Yeah. So please make sure you all ask your questions, your comments. Make sure you share this broadcast because not everyone knows this type of disorder and what to even expect. So I see amazing. I'm amazing. I see you, Francis. I see you, Dennis. I see you. Y'all can put all these comments the whole show. I do not know how quickly I'll be able to do it without Mackenzie over there. Now, Mackenzie, technically, she still have both her hands that she could be using, but she's over there like, yes, I'm enjoying this for the moment. I'll let Kim just relish in the moment over there. All right. Hi, my mom had Guillain-Barré in 1984. Oh my goodness. Okay. I see all of your different things. I don't know the translation of that, so I can't put up with a translation. Put it in English for me if you don't mind. Translate it to English because you could be saying, Kim, you are cray. I don't know what you're saying, so you gotta translate it to English for me, okay? My uncle had it. Good morning, Kim and Mackenzie. Yes, glad to have you, Pamela.
Nana's on. Joy Mackenzie's grandmother.
Hi, grandma of Mackenzie. Now, see, Trent, we weren't talking about Trent yet, but he done got his whole head and he like this.
I seen Nana. I seen Nana. I got excited. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. You might as well get on in the shot. That's Trenton over there, Mackenzie's husband. We're going to be talking to him too. So glad to have you, Miss Joy Vancy, and enjoy the show today with your granddaughter on. Amazing. She said hi, and I see you watching from Liberia, Francis. Okay, so I had something similar. Not sure it was this. It may have been. You never know, Leah. But today we're going to hear, good morning. I've never heard of this before. I've never been here before. What is this all about? This is all about the Kim Jacobs Show. And it is a daily show where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time on the show. And we bring guests like Mackenzie Rhodes and many other guests that share their stories about things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. So you are tuned in, whoever just asked that, to the Kim Jacobs Show. Thank you for being here today. All right, everybody, listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to hear Mackenzie Rhodes' harrowing story of dealing with Guillan Barre. It's unbelievable. Fasten your seatbelts.
It's not just another day, it's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone. We are talking today with Mackenzie Rhodes, and her husband's shoulder blade is in the shot over there. And his name is Trenton Rhodes. And you're going to hear a lot more about him today as well. But let me start just by letting you know Mackenzie is a mother of, she said, one wife of Trenton, marketing owner, children enthusiast, and working on her bachelor's degree in education. She is a tremendous mother as well, most importantly, and a tremendous wife as well. So I'm so excited about having Mackenzie Rhodes here. And I will go ahead and tell you, Trenton, her husband, is a mechanic and going back to school for his ASC certification. He's an avid outdoorsman who loves hunting and fishing and is a music lover, mostly in guitar. Clearly, he's the husband of one wife, which is Mackenzie Rhodes over there, and a daddy. All right. So I'm so glad to have Trenton when he pops in as well. That's the formal introduction of the two of them. Mackenzie, talk to us. And I know we could go, first of all, I really want you to kind of go back because there was something that happened in your childhood that not every young lady experienced. And it's something that we know as teen mom. And so I would like for you to talk. You're probably like, Kim, what are we talking about? Because we don't know this question. Listen, tell everybody about your teen years and how you became a mom at an early age.
So I was in my freshman year of college, and it was the summer after my freshman year, and I found out I was pregnant. Fast forward 9 months, I had my son last February. He just turned 1.5 years old. He is the love of my life. He is into everything. And he turns 2 in February. So
that's no Mr. Remington. We all love, we call him Remy. We love Remy.
Oh yeah. We do love Remy. Everyone that meets Remy loves Remy. So
yeah. Awesome. And so just from, I know we're not going to talk a lot about being a teen mom. If you all are interested in seeing the episode when Mackenzie did come on and talk and share her teen mom experience, make sure you check that out. It's on our YouTube channel and you'll be able to see that. But this is her family here, Mackenzie, with Remy and with Trenton, and lovely family. Now, for any advice, because you do have some young ladies that are in high school and college and they found themselves, they're pregnant and they're young moms. Any advice for people that are pursuing their goals?
Well, I actually sent this link I shared the link with a few people that I know got pregnant young, or that we're friends and connected on TikTok or whatever from having kids young. But honestly, as it goes along, as it gets, I guess, as past the newborn stages, and once you really get into it, it gets easier than what it was when you were, having to wake up at 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. in the middle of the night. It gets easier as you get into the journey, but it seems like your world's falling apart, but it's really just falling into pieces, place. Because I wouldn't have changed it for the world.
So. That's good. I'm glad to hear that, because not everyone feels that way, especially if the father is not heavily involved in the person's life. But your story is so wonderful from the perspective of you connecting with the person that's sitting with you beside you.
Yeah.
And so we're going to get to hear that piece later in today's discussion. But today we're talking about how Mackenzie did something that all of us, when COVID took place, we started getting shots and we were trying to get boosted and making sure that we were listening to what we were being told to do by, whether it was government officials, whether it was CDC, whatever, everybody that would tell us, physicians, let's get vaccinated. And Mackenzie, you did exactly that. You were compliant, right?
Right. I got my first vaccine in March or April of 2021. I did that. Honestly, the reason I got it was because I was nursing and I wanted Remy to have the antibodies that came with the vaccine. So I got it in March or April of last year, and then I got my second one in May, I think, of last year. And then in December was when I got my booster.
Okay, so you had gotten your vaccinations in hopes of through nursing you would get it some kind of way filtered into Remy's system, your son's system. But then the boosters were the next tier of recommendations. And so you did go and get your first booster?
Yeah, I got my first booster in December because that was when it was that was when the first one was only the first one. So I got it in December, and then the end of January, beginning of February, my eyes started going into my nose, and I looked like I was cross-eyed the whole time. But actually I wasn't cross-eyed at all. It was just my nerves were attacking my body. And so I went to the hospital in Johnson City, Tennessee. That's where we live. And they didn't know what was going on. They did 3 MRIs, a CT scan, and a spinal tap, and they discharged me without telling me what it was. But the thing about it was if my husband knew the spinal tap results and the doctors wouldn't read it. Because they sent the spinal tap results. I had the spinal tap results on a piece of paper, but they discharged me before diagnosing me.
Wait. Okay, so let's go back because I want to make sure that we're understanding what's happening here. Well, first of all, let me let everybody know what Guillan, and I was listening to the pronunciation, is a Guillain-Barré syndrome is, and it says that Guillain-Barré syndrome is a rare disorder in which your body's immune system attacks your nerves. It's weakness and tingling in your hands and your feet, and those are usually the first symptoms. These sensations can quickly spread and eventually paralyzing your whole body.
Yeah.
It is in its most severe form of Guillain-Barré syndrome. It is a medical emergency, and most people with this condition must be hospitalized to receive treatment. Okay, so now you received a spinal tap.
I received 2. So I went to the hospital in my hometown, and they did one there, and they discharged me without reading the results. So I came home. I literally could not even wiggle my toes or put any weight on it. My fiance at the time, he had to carry me up the stairs, pick me up and carry me, and then help me literally bathe myself, which probably no one's done since I was a baby, little. And it was a whole thing. So the next day he was supposed to go to work and my mom was going to help with me. But at that point, we didn't know what was going on. And so he tried to get me out of my car, and my legs looked like rag dolls, basically. And it was I couldn't put any weight on them at all. So we went back to the hospital, and they were going to admit me, but we sat 12 hours in the waiting room. And when I got admitted there, I got admitted there on my birthday, by the way, in the beginning of February. But when I got admitted there, I could walk perfectly fine. And so in the span of 4 days, I had to be in a wheelchair and couldn't walk at all. And so, so we went there, and it took them 12 hours to get me seen. And then when I was seen, they put me in a holding room. And in the holding room, they wanted us to spend the night in the holding room, but it was just basically it was an ambulance stretcher that I was going to sleep on, and Trenton had to sleep on the floor. And I've been taking antidepressants ever since with postpartum depression. And I take it every night. And when you go to the hospital, you don't bring your medicine because normally it's in your file and they give you it. They didn't
Right.
give me it till 6 a.m. the next morning. And it wasn't like I was asking the nurses for it. And so at that point, I was like, I am not doing this. I'm not doing this. And so I signed myself out, AMA. And we went home. And me and Trenton, he carried me back into the living room. We slept on the floor. Well, he brought the mattresses downstairs because then we had 2 twin mattresses. He put them on the floor. We both went to sleep for maybe 2 or 3 hours, and then we got up and we headed to Knoxville, which is about an hour and a half away from us because it has the number 2 trauma center in Tennessee.
Right.
But it was so when I got there, they did another spinal tap because within 10 minutes of me being there, I was already being seen in a holding room, and they told me, they're like, so what's going on? Oh, so you can't really walk, but you could walk a few days ago. Okay, can you move your toes at all? Can you move your fingers? No.
So wait. So are you saying that there was possibility that they weren't believing what you're saying?
No. So when I went to the first hospital, they didn't really know what was going on, and they discharged me without reading the results from the spinal tap.
What were the results in the spinal tap?
So whenever you have Guillain-Barre, the protein in your spinal fluid is higher than the normal elevation. So if they read that the fluid, whatever kind of fluid it was higher, then they would have known it was Guillain-Barre.
So
but they didn't even look to see if it was MS or something like that. They just discharged me when I came in there walking, and I couldn't even shower myself by the time they discharged me.
Oh my goodness. So this was happening rapidly. So like with the Mayo Clinic here, what they are saying is it's literally a medical emergency and has to be dealt with quickly because it's these sensations are spreading quickly to the point where paralyzation is happening.
I was paralyzed. Literally, I was paralyzed. At the end of it, I couldn't move my feet on my own. Someone had to help me go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Help me bathe myself.
Oh, I know. I remember the whole.
I had to relearn how to go get to the bathroom by myself and shower and wash my own hair and do it. Things you take advantage of. I always have my hair up in a bun or braided, and I couldn't do either of those. And so I had to relearn how to do everything. It wasn't. So I went to the second hospital, and within 2 or 3 hours, I had my own room. The next day, I saw a neurologist, and basically, even the ER doctor was like, this is probably what it is, but we'll have you for a spinal tap in the morning to see, but we're pretty sure this is what it is. And so within 2 or 3 hours of being at the second hospital, they already knew basically what the diagnosis was, just from me saying what my symptoms were. So I got a spinal tap, and then the neurologist came by and said, this is what it is. So you're going to have to spend 5 days here and get this treatment. Mm-hmm. And I missed my son's first birthday because I was in the hospital, and I was crying because I missed his first birthday and that just felt like I was crushed because it was like he won't remember it. Right. But I would, and it was just one of the biggest days when your child turns 1 or their birthday. It's just kind of like a milestone, and I couldn't celebrate that because I was in the hospital, and so it really made me upset. But I got the 5 days of the IV thing, and some people can't get that treatment. Some people have to get plasmapheresis through their neck. And it wasn't, and it's, but so sometimes you lose your ability to eat, and you have to be put in a medical induced coma and get a feeding tube. Mm-hmm. And there was a girl that was at the same hospital as me. She was 20, I think they said 3, and it spreaded up to her neck, and she couldn't eat on her own anymore. So they had to put a feeding tube in her. And mine almost got that bad because there was a dink on day 2 or 3 of the treatment. I couldn't even eat a roll without it choking me. And so I had to have a speech therapist come in and they checked, and by then I already had the it was like where I could keep food down, but it was, if I stayed at the first hospital, I'd be dead.
Yeah. Well, okay. Mackenzie got me toe down over here. I'm trying to host, but I can't host and cry at the same time. Let me understand. At this, everybody, just to paint the picture here, Mackenzie was doing regular teen young lady, had a dog, had a son, had a child, but was doing her thing that she was like, hopping and popping TikTok. You know how you do all the viral videos and all of that stuff she be doing on there, all of that 1, 2, and all of that. I don't know whatever be going on over there. But she was using every activity of her limbs and enjoying her life. Okay. When this happened, this completely sideswiped her and took her on a journey that she could have never imagined, this Guillain-Barré. Now, how did your family deal with this? Because how was everybody dealing with this? Because if you're my daughter, I'm like, what is going on?
So because I had Remy, a lot of the time my mom, she kept Remy for most of the time. So she wasn't able to be in the hospital with me. She came down a few times, but he was going from my grandparents to my mom to whatever. But she'd come in and she was there and she'd bring me food or whatever. But I don't know. The reason why I knew my husband was my future husband at the time was because he literally slept on the floor when I was sleeping on an emergency room stretcher and didn't leave my side at all. Like literally washed my hair when I hadn't had my hair washed in the hospital for 3 or 4 days. Helped me. I was on my period and he helped me change, women hygiene products and helped me go to the bathroom when I wasn't able to get a nurse. Like that was the kind of man that I knew I needed to marry. So after I got out, we eloped. But
okay. That's why we love you, Trenton. You know that already. Here at the Kim Jacobs Show. Okay. So your family was as supportive as they could be. They were helping as much as they could. Trenton stepped in as your fiance, really never kind of left your side. He was there with you. But the rest of the family.
He lost a job because I was in the hospital and they were just saying like, we need you to come in. He's like, I can't. My fiance, I was his fiance at the time. I couldn't move my legs. He's like, I can't come in. So he actually lost a job and it was the whole thing. But
he's going to get 100-fold back. I can promise you that. God's got some great things in store for Trenton Rhodes.
He works his booty off for us. So, but my grandparents came and saw me. My grandpa, Joy, that's my Nana, her husband, she came in. They both came in when I was in the hospital in Knoxville and Johnson City. And let's see. Everyone. My dad even drove up for a few hours from Cleveland, which was like an hour and a half away to see me for a little while. My mom came almost every day and drove the hour and a half to see me.
Of course.
So it was.
Oh, okay. So everybody listen, we're talking with Mackenzie Rhodes, and this thing that happened to her, Guillain-Barré syndrome, was something that came out of the blue from a shot. She had a booster shot and it was a reaction, is what you were told, right? By your physician. So that, of course, when anybody hears that, is like, I know other people were like, I'm not getting nothing after you hear that your friend or a coworker or a family member gets this type of reaction. I wonder how rare it is for people to get this type of
actually reaction. Not that rare. Whenever 2012, whenever the flu was going around and the swine flu and everyone started getting the flu shot, there was more cases in Guillain-Barré than there was like the past 15 years. And then with the COVID shot, Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson, it's just as, I guess, it's more cases than it was since 2012. Like with any other shot since the 2012 one, in the last 10 years, there's been more cases with the COVID shot than there has like a regular, I don't know.
Vaccination shots and different things, the immunization
Yeah.
shots and things
Yeah.
that typically could cause those kind of, according to some of the people that have received them. But if you look on Mayo Clinic, a lot of the statistical information is there. And I'll also put the link on that they shared about Guillain-Barre, the symptoms and the causes and what you can look for. That's at mayoclinic.org. Okay, so listen, when we come back, let me pop some of these comments up. Mackenzie, hello, Mackenzie, I'm going to pop some of the comments up. Are you popping them up?
No.
I'm going to pop them up. I got you. I got you. You're being a guest today, so you don't have to pop them up. Let me pop them up. Okay.
I can.
So
My best
no,
friend.
no, I want you to be comfortable and be a guest. So just
My
okay,
best Kim, my best friend's on.
Hi, Allie. How are you?
That's my best friend.
Mackenzie's best friend.
That's Remy's godmother. I almost said grandmother. His godmother.
Well, I have to read some of these because some of these are paragraphs. In other countries, more common in hints. Okay. Okay, let me put this comment up. Let's see. Philip says GBS, okay, Guillain-Barre syndrome is a progressive disorder. Symptoms described is expected. It is, however, frightening when it affects active young people. I know, and that's what Mackenzie was. It's amazing. In other countries, it's more common and hence a different approach. Thanks for sharing your experience, Mackenzie. And praying so many others can be more aware. Family support is very important and for the rapid recovery. And I'm sure I can imagine some people be like, girl, get up, you'll be fine, whatever. So it's depending upon what kind of family you're in. Everybody may not be as supportive as your family was.
A lot of time I would be so mad. But they don't, like, if you've not been in there, like in a wheelchair or had to use a walker for mobility or anything, then you don't exactly know what's going on because it's something, it's not something that I guess you talk about. Like, yeah, I was in a wheelchair for a month and a walker for 3 or 4 weeks. My whole church was praying for me, like, and I honestly really think that that's why I've done the way I have, like how I've progressed so fast, because it's been 6 months and a lot of people take up to like 4 or 5 years to get full mobility back. It's not something that you can automatically just recover from. And so it's something that is long and you need to like put your work in. It's not something you can just snap and it's done. It took his first birthday away from me. I couldn't get that day back. I couldn't get February 9th, 2022 back, and that was a year from when I had my firstborn. I couldn't get that back. I couldn't get he was with his father's family for a few weeks, and he had his first steps there. That was whenever I was in physical therapy 3 times a week, and I couldn't walk or anything. They had him for like 2 weeks, and he had his first steps there. I missed that. I missed his first birthday. I couldn't get that back. Like, that's something you don't realize until it's gone. I was there the first time he rolled his head, like rolled over from back to belly, lifted his head up, crawled, smiled, said mama, like all that stuff. And then the fact that I wasn't there for his birthday or his first steps, I couldn't get that feeling back. And it wasn't because I just didn't have the chance to. It was because I was literally fighting for my life.
That's it. That's it. And here's another, you're seeing this video and stuff. Tell us about your Jesus and what you feel your Jesus did for you as you were recovering.
It is my song. My grandma said that's her song. That was my mom's talked about it in church, that I was in the bed getting my IV treatment and I couldn't move my legs at all. And I said, let me tell you about my Jesus, because it says if you need some healing, let me tell you about my Jesus. And that's why I know miracles still happen, because of that, I'm such a faith-driven person now, because people are like, miracles don't happen. I'm not going to bull crap, because miracles, I had one. I literally could have died. Like, there is a fatality rate with that. I almost had to get a feeding tube at 21 years old. I could still be in a wheelchair. A wheelchair. And I didn't. I was in the hospital, and whenever he was Trenton drove me to the physical therapy hospital, and he said, from here on out, it's on you. We can all support you and pray for you, but if you want to get out of here, you're going to have to put in the work.
That's good. That's good.
And so I was there, and I stayed 30 minutes after my therapy session every day doing the bike, which the bike clip you saw on that was from then. If I got on the walker, I was like, can I get on, do it more? Can I do it more? Because I wasn't about to stay. I was only 21. I'm only 21. I have a baby. I wasn't about to let this make me stay in a wheelchair for the rest of my life because of it. I was gonna kick its butt. I didn't have any chance but to, because I literally could have died. Like, literally, that's the thing, is you can't explain that enough unless you've done it, because I almost had to get a feeding tube. I almost died, but I did it. And so that's when people are like, I don't think there's no more miracles. It doesn't happen nowadays. You want to see one? I have videos on my phone. 6 months ago, I was paralyzed, and people are like, how? How were you paralyzed 6 months ago? You're walking around like no one's business. Yesterday, he had a day off. We were walking around the mall. We went to the mall. We walked around the mall like nothing happened. And so if I would tell the people at the restaurant we went to, I was paralyzed 6 months ago. When we went to the church, they were walking around like, no.
That's not possible. That's not possible.
None of that. I mean,
wow.
You don't, it's, yeah.
I get it, Mackenzie. Listen, I only get it because you're giving it to me. I could never have gotten it had you not shared your story. So I am so grateful that you're here today. And I'm sure everyone in the virtual studio audience shares these sentiments. Someone asked the question, how do you get, you said today's program is very informative. Georgia, you were asking, how do you find out from the show on Tuesday as well? And I want to let you know that the link is right there, and you'll be able to copy and paste it from whatever platform you're looking at. He talked about building a six-figure income. Listen, when we come back, y'all, we're going to hear more from Mackenzie's husband, Trenton Rhodes. So pop your head in, Trenton, for a second. All right. That's the very kind, wonderful young man that swept Mackenzie off her feet and had a love affair even when she wasn't able to even walk. That's love, right? We're excited to be able to have Trenton Rhodes talk with us some right after this commercial break. Thank you, Mackenzie, for being so transparent too. We'll be right back.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter & Everett, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
All right, everyone, we're back, and I could see Mackenzie and Trenton dating backstage. I can see y'all. I'm like, get a room. I can see y'all back there. I can see y'all. So, Trenton.
Yes, ma'am.
Really, I mean, literally, first of all, how did you and Mackenzie meet? I would like to hear that from you.
So we met on Tinder.
A dating app.
Yeah.
So what, is that a dating app? I don't know.
Ma'am.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. So wow. So there are some dating apps out there that would bring this kind of love affair about?
Depends on the dating app.
As long as God's in it, it's there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. I didn't even know that. So you meet her, and when do you finally meet face to face then, if you're just meeting online?
A month and a half in.
Month and a half, 2 months in.
Okay, and did you kind of know from just communicating online and everything that she was the one, or did you like, let me check this chick out? What were you thinking?
There was definitely a strong emotional pull, just in that she was so avid about her relationship with Christ and keeping up with fitness, which is something that both of those things I'm very adamant about. And in the way she talked to me, the way she loves Remy, it drew me towards her. And then when we met in person, I kid at her all the time, telling her the way I knew she was the one was she brought me coffee to work. So, but once I met her in person, it just kind of solidified all those feelings that were in the air. And it was at that point I knew there was nobody else I'd rather lay my head down next to.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Trent. Trent, I knew I love you from back in just being in the background, seeing you on videos with Mackenzie. I was like, I just really love this young man. I think he's a sweet young man. I'm excited about him. And I could see the sincerity that he has towards Mackenzie. So even though I know we only work together, Mackenzie, I feel like I have some level of like, let me pay attention because I'm gonna give my feedback, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to be able to say it honestly, and I just felt like he seems like a very nice, I mean, like that's a nice young man right there. That's a nice young man. So I'm excited about Trenton. So now, Trenton, how soon after you all met and became kind of serious with each other did Mackenzie experience the Guillain-Barre syndrome?
4 months in.
Yeah. So we started dating in November.
Okay.
And I moved up here to be with her in January. And I was here for probably 3 weeks. And then she started having the symptoms.
That was not what you signed up for, though, right? Yes, I mean, I'm like, I know we're trying to keep this all flowery and nice, but now you met this young lady on a dating app, right? So you're dating her online. You take it a step further. You're like, okay, she matches what the dating situation was online. Now you come together physically. You're here, and within a month of you physically coming together, this happens.
Right.
What was the first thing that ran through your mind?
I'm not allowed to say that on something that's broadcasted.
Oh. But it was something like bleep, 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 bleep. Okay.
But as soon as all those bleeps got out, it was, what can I do to help her? Where do I need to take her? What can I do?
And what did you do?
Whatever.
Before you even answer, everybody put some kind of emoji. I don't care what emoji you can find on your phone that represents some love, hugs, hearts, the sideways 3 or whatever, anything that just pour some love in the direction of Mackenzie and Trenton. And make sure too, because I know you're going to answer the question, but make sure you all stay connected with them at the Rhodes family. That's ARHODES. The Rhodes family on Instagram, and at MACK.Rhodes Max Marketing on Facebook, because they do have Max Marketing on Facebook. All right, go ahead.
So realistically, when everything happened, once kind of the overwhelming stuff happened to the point where I could stand back and say, it was like a switch flip. It went from what do I do to let's do this.
Right.
Because I knew at that time, like I said, there was no one else I ever wanted to spend my life with. So if that means that I have her over one shoulder and Remy over the other to make sure they're taken care of, that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
And I knew through all of this that God was going to take care of us.
Yes,
because
and he's done that.
Is Jesus made the lame to walk. And I watched her become lame. And I know that the Bible says that those with the faith the size of a grain of mustard seed can move mountains. So if I take my mustard seed and I take her mustard seed and I take her mom's, her grandparents, everybody, imagine we could move the world for this woman beside me to be able to walk again.
And you actually did something outside of just literally laying on the floor with her, brushing her hair, styling her hair, bathing her, doing everything that she could not do for herself. But you took it a step further. Mackenzie, I don't have this photo, but is there a photo of when he actually proposed to you?
You have a screenshot.
Yeah, send me that via email if you don't mind. Listen, everybody, we're going to take another commercial break, and we're going to come back to hear about how this gentleman proposed to Mackenzie and at what phase she was in when the proposal happened. My goodness. This is mind-blowing to me. I love your story. I think it's a movie. I think a lot of things are a movie, but I just love your story. So anyway, we'll be right back. All right, everyone, we are back and we are talking with Mackenzie Rhodes and Trenton Rhodes. And so, Trenton, if in case you're just joining, I see some of the comments that came in hearts. I see you, Pamela. People look at me, you say, Leah, people look at me and think that I'm fine, but every day for 5 years, I've literally been in physical pain and they just don't know. And I see lots of hugs and love. Let's see, what is he? Was on vacation.
That's supposed to be the hand heart emoji, but
Oh, okay, okay. And then Joni says, we have a young man in town, Reese Johnson, who just had his life support removed and is beginning to talk in Huntsville, Alabama. He and his family have a long road ahead. He was on vacation with his family and diagnosed with the flu. In 3 days, he was paralyzed. Pray for Reese for a full recovery. And Joni, right now, I always pray in Jesus' name, and you can pray in whomever name you do, whoever around the world. Let's all join together right now and pray for this full recovery of Reese. Heavenly Father, Lord, I just ask that you just give Reese a full recovery. Lord, you say that you are the author and the finisher of our faith, Lord, and that we can ask anything in your name, Lord, but it's only by your stripes that we can claim healing. So we're claiming healing right now over Reese's body, Lord. We don't have to know Reese, but we know that you are a miracle working God. And so, Lord, go in that room and work a miracle for him right now. And I pray in your precious and holy name that he has full recovery, full restoration, full activity of his limbs. And while we're praying, I ask the same for Mackenzie and her family. Give them every desire of their heart. Let them want for nothing. All that they've experienced, Lord, I ask that you bring back to fullness, that they be able to accomplish things to the highest heights possible. I pray this in your precious and holy name. Amen. All right. So let's go. Trenton, you proposed to this young lady. Tell us how that worked.
So once she was fully released from the, a physical therapy rehab hospital, I sat down, talked with her mom and her stepdad, and got the permission that we needed because, the Bible says to become one in marriage. And we went through this struggle and this strive together. And the Bible says those who sow in shall reap in joy. So I knew that we laid that seed, that foundation of family together during the hard times. And I wanted to see it through the good times.
All right.
So we came for dinner, and you can see her grandpa back there.
Grandpa wait a minute. Wait, I'm gonna eat my bowl of cereal. He like, Grandpa like, wait, I'm gonna be right here when this happens.
Right. He's enjoying his ice cream. We give him flack about it all the time, but we love him. Hey, those two, all of her family have been so supportive with us through every portion of it. I mean, it's been a true blessing to be in a family with such great in-laws. I mean, anywhere from her best friend, Allie, her mom, Hope, their entire family, her mom, her awesome. Grandparents. Incredible.
No, seriously, my best friend Allie and her family was basically, they adopted me when I was in middle school. And after I had Remy, they basically saved me with my postpartum depression. They'd keep him 2 or 3 nights a week sometimes just for me to catch up on sleep. And they were awesome with him. And then when I was in the hospital, they drove up an hour and a half from Knoxville up here both ways to get him. And they kept him when I was in Knoxville actually for a few days. So they've always been awesome. That he has his own clothes there and diapers, and they'll keep him for a weekend sometimes. And he has a $300 car seat at their house just because they love that baby. So they're also with them. But yeah.
Wow. This is such an incredible story. And I see you saying, Jordan, listen, I never knew your whole story. This is so crazy. I'm so glad you beat it. Kenzie, God has such big plans for you and your wonderful family. I can't wait. Huh?
She's married. We're friends. She has a baby that's like 5 months old, I think. And so I sent everyone the link. So that's she's done that.
Well, she said, listen, you definitely have the right one here. He's a keeper type of thing. So make sure you know she endorses, like, I put my stamp of approval on this. All right, everybody, listen, this is incredible information. Yes, you have awesome support. God and support is wonderful. Congratulations to you all. How long have you been married at this point?
5 months.
All day.
All day.
All day. Okay. And what advice would you give other people? First of all, I want to get several pieces of advice. What advice would you give teen moms, Mackenzie?
Keep pushing through. It's hard, but keep pushing through. Especially if you're doing it alone. I was blessed that even though I was a single mom, I had the support system I did. Like I said, Allie's family, they basically helped me raise him till he was probably 7 months old and I moved up here. Like, kept him all the time. Just amazing. So find your support system. If you're doing it alone, you can still do it. It's just hard. But you got what it takes, because even if you're both parents, you can still do it.
That's good.
Pushing, it gets easier. You'll realize the milestones once you get there, but keep pushing through. Even if you're both parents, it's the best job ever.
I love that advice. And then I also want to hear from you, Mackenzie, too, on what advice you would give people that have experienced a life-altering disorder, situation, circumstance, anything that leaves them having to start from ground zero. And not just physically, there are some people mentally that's starting from ground zero. There are some people, whether it's because of divorce or because of the parents separating or because of a medical issue. It can be a lot of different reasons. What advice would you give people that have to start from ground zero?
Just that the new normal is okay.
I love that.
That was our motto when my parents got divorced when I was little. Well, not little, I was in high school, but that adjusting to the new normal isn't bad. And so you realize you adapt with it. My cousin actually is 12, and he is in a wheelchair and has to use my old walker. He has my wheelchair and walker right now. I don't exactly know. He had some kind of infection spread to his legs. So he's in physical therapy right now too. But he's learning how to, he can do everything himself now, but he's learning how to, the transitions and stuff like that. So you adjust with the new normal. You learn how to, I guess, adjust with it. That's why I wanted to go to the physical therapy hospital. I mean, I really didn't want to, but I'm glad I did, because they teach you how to, like, they have a tool to put your socks on your feet if you can't move your leg. They teach you how to transition to the bed from the wheelchair, stuff like that. Just, everyday things. They taught.
What hospital was that you went to?
Encompass Hospital. It's in Kingsport, Tennessee. But
shout out to Encompass Hospital in Kingsport, Tennessee. I just want to give you a shout out and let you know that we really appreciate the care that you gave Mackenzie Rhodes. And on behalf of the Kim Jacobs Show, thank you so much for taking great care of her, because we're all grateful to have her back. Mackenzie is back, and we're thankful for your service. Okay, listen. Talk to us, Trenton, from a husband's perspective. A man. There are men that watch this platform. A man's perspective. I would love for you to be able to just give one word of encouragement to men that may have women that they thought, hey, she is everything. She is hot to trot. She looking good. And then, whoop, something happens. What advice would you give to men in those moments?
Keep pushing. I mean, focus on you. be the best you can be. And iron sharpens iron. Surround yourself with what you want to grow into, and it will attract what you want in life.
Excellent. Excellent. It will attract what you want in life. So just make sure you keep pushing. Great advice, and be there. He was there. He was a man that was there in the time that
there's so many men that would rather have gone to work. That's what I'm saying. Nowadays, men would rather go to work or do whatever than actually be there and support you in the time when you need him. He lost a great paying job with benefits because I needed him.
Yeah. Like, Trent, how you feel about that? Because you look like, dog, I need that job right by now. Just I can just see part of your face. This is all I could see was this part of your face like this. You're like,
pretty much. My thought process is if I die today, that job will have me replaced in 2 weeks. If I die today, this woman right here, hopefully, would not replace me in 2 weeks.
Mackenzie mighty cute over there. She might be like, well, I don't know. I'm joking. She would not. She'd be like, I love my Trent. I love my Trent.
Yeah. I know that.
All right.
I said, worst comes to it, I'm beside her.
Okay.
There are millions of businesses out here that'll cut me a paycheck every week, every 2 weeks, whatever. There's only one wife for me.
Well, this is good. Leah says, surround yourself with what you want to grow into. Surround yourself with what you want to grow into. All right.
So, whenever you said the story, this is what I started laughing about earlier, I move a lot in my sleep. So if I wanted to move, like get comfortable, go from my belly to my back or whatever, he would get up off his little chair that he was sleeping in and help me move. It was probably every 15 minutes because I couldn't go to sleep worth a lick. And so there was one time where I was I pressed the nurse button and she came in. It was like the night nurse. And she came in and I said, babe. And he woke up and he was standing there holding on the side of the hospital bed, going like this. He's like, what do you need? What could I help you with?
Like, girl, you're working me to the bone. I'm trying. I'm trying to be everything you need.
He's like, it's 4 a.m. I've gotten 30 minutes of sleep. What do you need? I help you. And she was like, you need to leave him alone.
You gotta let this man rest, poor thing. He gonna be broke down. Well, listen, I'm so glad that. What do you all do for fun? Tell us one fun thing that you guys do now that you have the full activity of your limbs. I know you're saying walking the mall, but what's one fun thing?
We love going bowling. We haven't gone in a few weeks, but we love going bowling. We'll take Remy. He went bowling one time. Most of the time he sits in the stroller. Either that or we'll take him to the pool. We have a pool at our and he'll go swimming. He loves.
Okay. That's little Remy right there. Thank God for the Rhodes family being here today on the Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, tomorrow, why fundraisers like Extreme Hike are important for finding a cure for cystic fibrosis. And many of you all don't know this, but 3 of the children that I have given birth to battle that disease. They kick cystic fibrosis in the head every day. And so I want you all, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Yeah. And so anyway, I will tell you, I'm asking you all to tune in tomorrow to hear about this particular fundraiser. And I'll play this right quick just as we lead into tomorrow. This is one of my children that has cystic fibrosis. And I like this little clip, so I'll play it right
Always
quick.
ask people, what if the opposition and adversity that you've been dealt isn't even about you? What if the challenges you're facing are not even about you? What if it's to bring somebody else closer to God? What if it's to improve somebody else's relationship with God? What if it's to fortify somebody else's faith through the way that you handle the opposition and adversity and respond to it? Like, I firmly believe when we deal with things and we encounter things, I believe the purpose and the mission.
I want to show that only because as we are going through some of the things that Mackenzie talked about, some of the things that I know my children live with cystic fibrosis, sometimes the things we go through are not even about us. It's about helping somebody else get better on their journey called life. So I do hope that today's episode with Mackenzie Rhodes and Trenton Rhodes is one that is changing your life for the better. And let's say again how they can stay connected with you right quick.
That's my TikTok and Instagram, and my marketing business is Instagram or Facebook and Instagram. Yeah.
All right. So you can stay connected at the Rhodes family on Instagram and at mack.rhodes Max Marketing on Facebook. That's our episode for you all today. Thank you, Mackenzie. Make sure you backstage again tomorrow because, girl, I was working these buttons. I was like, oh, here, like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed.
I'll be back turning wrenches tomorrow.
Well, thank you both for being here today. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you all in the virtual studio audience for tuning in. The show cannot be what it is without your support. And we are a community-based organization. We are an organization it's not a community-based organization. We are community funded, is what I wanted to say. So if you're able to support the Kim Jacobs Show, here are some ways to do it. You can support it through Cash App, through PayPal, or even become a patron member where you can join the patreon.com/The Kim Jacobs Show. But right at Cash App, $ Kim Jacobs Inc., PayPal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. And we appreciate your contributions. It does make a difference, and it allows people like Mackenzie to remain a part of the Kim Jacobs Show team. Yes. All right. Thank you all. Your story is amazing. I'm grateful you're back. And you are, in your opinion, Mackenzie, like back to 100% or 60%, 70, 80? What percentage would you give it?
So probably 95.
95. I still go to physical therapy just because
Stamina.
but praise the Lord, I'm off all my medications for it as of a week and a half ago. So I don't have to take my nerve pill anymore or my sleeping medicine that helped me sleep. I'm a week and a half off of those. So.
All right, everybody. On that note, we're going to close out, and we will see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're both amazing, and I'm so excited that you joined us today. All right. Have a great one. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.